Sorry.
Now we're live. Welcome to Combination. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us again.
Exactly.
Or for the first time. Whichever works for you.
Yep. And hey, we have confirmed, or would like to confirm at this point, we are planning on being at Baltimore Comic-Con again.
Yeah.
We're thinking about New York, but we might have lost the deadline. If there's a Comic-Con you're doing, let us know. We'd love to be part of it because we're like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're talking to Baltimore, aren't we, Todd? To see about maybe doing something sort of extra fun. So stay tuned. Give us a like. Give us a follow.
Give us a click. Give us a tweet.
Yep.
Hit the bell. Hit the subscribe.
And
Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of those.
All of it. And above all, let's have some fun and let's talk about the Secret Invasion, which is not so much a secret anymore.
No.
Just came out on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun.
Things
happen. People die, maybe, sort of.
Sorry.
But anyway, but let's get started because it's not a secret that we love comics.
We're
glad you're here.
Yep. Indeed. And if you're playing along live?
Exactly. This is great. And if you're not playing along live, we do this more normally Tuesdays at 9. Feel free to stop by.
Yeah. You might figure out all the answers. It's multiple choice. You got a good shot.
Always multiple choice. Always about the book we're talking about, which is
Yeah. A little bit of...
First of all, and this was my first question.
Uh-huh.
Who's invading?
Well, it's a secret, so we can't tell you that, right? Oh. Yeah, wow. In this particular case...
Who's invading, Todd?
It's those sneaky little devils, the Skrulls.
It would be way more fun if it was Skrillex, but it's the Skrulls.
It's the Skrulls.
By the way, extra points if you actually got Skrillex, because I know Todd didn't. Did you? You got neither Skrillex nor Scrams. That's okay.
I don't remember what the Skrillex are.
Skrillex is a DJ. Scrams is a sort of an emo heavy metal, because that's a thing.
Okay.
And Skrulls have secretly been invading the world for years.
Yes.
Now Skrulls, if your geek doesn't run as deep as it does with Todd and I, Skrulls are
shape-changing aliens. And if you saw the Captain Marvel movie, there's a point where she shows up on a ship full of Skrulls of different, ironically, different shapes and sizes. Some are smaller with big eyes, some are taller.
Exactly.
Some turn into little old ladies on buses. And
in Spider-Man movie, the Skrulls pretended to be Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Yep.
So, know, and that's how the invasion was a secret because
because we didn't actually know it was them because they look like all of us.
They walk among us. That's from the movie that
they're just visitors.
There you go. Now more about the Skrulls.
Yeah, what about them?
The Skrulls first appeared in what? Yes, Fantastic Four. They have been a classic and long-time Fantastic Four villain. But how long of a long-time Fantastic Four villain?
Pretty long.
Todd, how long?
Almost from the very beginning, because it's clear back in issue number 2. Doc Doom
Yup.
shows up at number 1. Skrulls show up at number 2. It's pretty much right there since the get-go.
Yep. And again, this was back when Stanley and Jack Kirby were doing the book.
Yep.
They were always this kind of reptilian.
Yeah. They looked a little more frog-like then. They weren't as tall. They were some of the shorter ones. But
exactly.
But that just happened to be the 3 or 4 that showed up in that.
And it's not easy being green. They're kind of.
It's not. Nope. That's sometimes why they change their colors.
So.
And become horses or cows.
Absolutely. And hey, before they were battling us, the Skrulls were battling someone else. Who were they battling?
Not the Kamoyans.
Why not?
I don't know. Just did, No, they were battling the Kree.
Exactly. And again, so yeah, all of the alternates were Star Wars. Yes, that's what Todd was sort of getting at.
Yep.
But the Kree, again, the Captain Marvel movie. You remember the Captain Marvel movie?
Mm-hmm.
Captain, Marvel was a Kree,
right?
Proud Kree warrior.
Yes.
Right. And the Kree and the Skrulls had been battling for thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
They've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
Some might even think they don't remember why they're fighting anymore.
And then apparently that war was ended and the Kree decided to secretly invade United States. I keep wanting to say United States. They've invaded Earth. And they could do this because they shape change.
Right. They look like the rest of us. Yeah. Some more than others, but
So there's branches of the Skrulls, and there's actually branches of the Kree.
Mm-hmm.
And which of these is not?
And all these wonderful folks. That would ironically be the Celestials.
Celestials. Okay, again, and it's like we'd like to take a minute when we can. We realize that you may not have read all of the comics that we've read, which is probably good. But you've probably seen the movies.
Yeah.
And so if you saw the Eternals,
Mm-hmm.
they talked a little bit about the Celestials, and the Celestials came and experimented.
Yeah.
And when the Celestials would come and experiment on a race, like the Skrulls, like the Kree, like the humans, they would have deviants, they would have Eternals, they would have Prime.
Right. Yeah.
And they did that. And they did that. They did that for the Kree. They did that for the Skrulls. They did that for the humans.
Yes. Which is how we got the Eternals and the Inhumans and the Super Skrulls and everything else. It's all whatever. Yep.
Exactly. Hey, Todd, for no additional points.
Mm-hmm.
The Deviant Skrulls, they further split.
Right. Didn't some of them become the Dire Wraiths?
Exactly. That's what I was looking for.
The Battle of the Space Knight ROM. Trademark infringement happening later.
Not to be confused with Dire Straits. Anyway, okay, exactly. Next question. Now, the Kree first appeared in comics when? We just talked about the fact that the Skrull were in like Fantastic Four #2, which was
back in 61.
Yeah, that's like exactly. So, but the Kree showed up when, Todd?
They showed up in 1967.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Todd, take it away.
Yeah.
So the first Kree who showed up was?
The first Kree that showed up was Ronan the Accuser, isn't he? Yeah. In an issue of Fantastic Four. Which those of you who remember the first Guardians film.
Yeah, exactly.
Might actually remember Ronan. He also shows up in the Captain Marvel movie. So yeah, he's a Kree. That's why he's got the blue skin.
Exactly.
As is Jude Law's character from Captain Marvel. He's also a Kree and has the blue skin.
But going back to Ronan, who wasn't Jude Law's character, let's just say, when it comes to Ronan's background and whatnot, he's a big candidate for he's a prime candidate for the awkward family dinner. Oy.
Yes. Has some daddy issues, one might say.
Okay, so the Earth heroes, they notice, the Kree,
The Skrulls, all these different people kicking
other.
around.
They're right now, that might impact us. So they form a group and they call it what?
They call it the Illuminati.
And if you're thinking, hey, I've heard of the Illuminati before, you're right. Because the Illuminati, before it sort of became a secret society battling with or against the Freemasons and God knows what else, and before it was part of a Lara Croft movie, and before it was part of, what was it, Da Vinci Code or Angels and Demons, they were a real organization.
Mm-hmm.
They were a secret society, that is correct. They were big in Bavaria.
Yeah.
About the 1700s. And it's basically, realize this is 1700s, the Gutenberg Bible, the Gutenberg Press was like just a couple decades old. The Illuminati, this was the age of enlightenment, and they wanted to make religion a little less powerful and make science and intellect a little bit more important. They just realized that there would be a problem, that there's a problem with, too much religion, too much superstition, and, well, basically abuse of power and abuse of state power.
Yeah. And or being accused of a witch. So,
I hate when that happens. Who was not? Oh, heavens. Okay. Completely screwed it up again. So who is not a member of
the Illuminati?
Of the Illuminati? And if you're playing along live, answer the questions that we're saying that show up in the screen. Because, yes, we've had another breathtaking technical issue.
Yes.
Who's not a member of the Illuminati, Todd?
Well, that'd be the Incredible Hulk, because he's actually the one that the Illuminati decided to send off world. Because
the Hulk had this big weekend in Vegas kind of moment.
Yep, got a little too big for his purple britches finally. And the Illuminati decided it was better that they don't have him here. So they put him on a rocket ship and sent him out into space. And if you want to read more about that, check out the book, Planet Hulk, or just scroll back through our channel and
we did that.
The contest on Planet Hulk. Because we talk about that book. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. So, hey.
Yeah.
In the Secret Invasion, who is the successor to the Skrull throne?
It's not a Chippendale chair? Oh, sorry. That's Veronica.
Yeah.
I think
that's how we pronounce her name. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to show up in the TV show, but she was huge in the
Secret Invasion book.
Yep. And she's again, which is funny. It makes sense if you think about it, that the Illuminati are the ones going against her, because she is a religious zealot. She is coming and invading the earth and directing every one of her followers to go invade the earth because, whatever God they worshipped is directing them to do. She thinks it's whatever God they worship's will. It has been ordained. It has been written in the stars. It is prophecy. This is ours. We want it.
Yeah. It's a divine comedy.
There you go. Now, this book, Secret Invasion, starts with the death of... And we're going to... So who dies in the beginning of Secret Invasion?
That would be Captain America, believe it or not.
And again, we're sort of being a little cavalier about this because, see, here's the thing. There's all these Skrulls who were mimicking all these people.
Right.
And Marvel, and the powers that be seem to be like, hey, remember this character that you thought died 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years ago?
Maybe they didn't.
They're better.
Maybe it was a Skrull that died. Or maybe it's the real person.
Could be.
I mean, dead's not really dead in the comic books anyway, so.
I know. Sometimes yeah. But hey, in addition to the death of Captain America,
yes,
who's maybe not quite dead yet, maybe feeling better.
I'm getting much better, actually.
There was the appearance of WHICH Howling Commando.
Oh, sadly, it wasn't my favorite, which is Pinky Pinkerton, because I love him and his little beret and his umbrella, or his bumbershoot, actually. But
And I'm okay. And yes, for those of you, yes, I know. Bucky Barnes was never technically a Howling Commando. But you know what? He was wrong. He was the wrong answer anyway. So if you knew enough to know that, you were fine. You were good. Yeah, it was Dum Dum Dugan.
Yep.
Who is he's the gentleman with the bowler hat and
really big handlebar mustache.
And in comic continuity, Dum Dum, he is a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is, known for his marksmanship with rifles and bowler hat. And he was played in the MCU by
Neil McDonough, who's brilliant in that role. Yeah. Wanted to see more of him, but he would have been brilliant in a lot of other things because he's always good. And it wouldn't have been cool if he could have played Doc Savage.
See, that's me.
So, yeah.
Yep. I was talking about that way before the MCU was ever a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I would see Neil McDonough and things, and I'd be like, yes, Doc Savage, Man of Bronze.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to happen now. And yes, that's our geek runs deep, dude. We are fan casting Doc Savage, Man of Bronze.
Yes. Ron Eli did okay, but Neil would do better.
Yeah, we saw that. Not even.
Yep. Back in the day.
Now, Secret Invasion also starts with the discovery that who was a Skrull? Who?
Horton? No.
Who was a Skrull? It was
Elektra.
Elektra's gonna stay dead.
That's right.
Okay. If Frank has anything to say about it ever, Elektra's gonna stay dead. Mm-hmm. Have a conversation with him sometime. Ask him about it. Just stand back when he starts yelling because Elektra's going to stay dead. So if she's alive, then she's a Skrull or she's a robot or
a life model decoy or something.
She's a fembot. Yeah. So, but it starts off with the fact of like, hey, apparently they thought Elektra was alive, but no, she's dead. And Elektra... What's her last name? Nachos? I'm going with Nachos.
No, that's Mexican because she's Greek.
That's true. She
was dead, and then she got feta.
She was. The jokes are never going to improve. I'm so
sorry. That was a cheesy one. I admit.
Oh my god! Todd's really milking this for all he can.
Yep. These are the salad days we're going through now.
So we mentioned Frank. Elektra was created by Frank Miller when Frank was on Daredevil. It's a really great run. We should probably do it one of those days.
Yeah, actually, we should talk about that book someday.
We should, and that's a good. But she was sort of the love interest of Matt Murdock.
Mm-hmm.
But suffice to say, she had some anger issues, and that kind of came between them.
She's also an assassin, and that kind of came between them.
I hate when that happens. Don't you hate when you're like having a lovely date and it's like, whatever. And then they're like, hang on, I got to go kill somebody. Would you mind picking up the check? It's like,
It's, speaking of awkward dinners, maybe not a family dinner, but still awkward.
But, yep. And let's see, Elektra's been in like a couple movies. I'm not sure. Well, Jennifer Garner.
Right. Back in the Ben Affleck one, and then she had her own movie.
Mm-hmm. And then Elodie Young, who was also in.
Yes.
Was she in Eternals?
Yeah, I think so. It sounds right. But then, and she played her in the Daredevil Netflix series and the Defender show. Yeah.
I think I'm wrong about that. But anyway. But Elektra is staying dead. She's staying dead.
Right. Sure.
That's what Frank wants.
Mm-hmm. Until she gets better.
Shush. Elektra's staying dead. What's Jarvis's first name? Everybody knows this. Come on. All together now. It's
Edwin.
Yep.
It's not Edgar. He's the butler from Aristocats.
So everybody, it's like everybody knows who Jarvis is. So Edwin Jarvis, in current continuity, he's the loyal household butler of the Stark family, who then, also takes care of the Avengers. In the Marvel,
guide and take care of the Avengers mansion.
Yep. Now in Marvel cinematic continuity, Jarvis was Tony Stark's childhood butler. Mm-hmm. And then when he grew up, he created the artificial intelligence of Jarvis, which stands for?
Just a rather very, very intelligent system.
Somebody was really, really sweating.
For those acronyms, right? Yep.
And Jarvis, as a character, first appeared in the 1960s, and again was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And
and he's even defended the mansion by himself against all sorts of villains.
How'd you do, man? You do what you gotta do.
Mop the floor with him.
Now, Peak makes an appearance in Secret Invasion. What's it the headquarters of?
It's the Peak's the headquarters for Sword, or Sword, depending on how you pronounce it.
Let's go with Sword.
Let's go
now, for no additional points, let's go through it.
Yeah.
Sword is
Sentinel World Observation and Response Department. Keeping an eye on the skies.
Yeah, so
possible invasions.
Similar to DC had what? Watchtower? Was that it?
Yeah, well, the Justice League has the Watchtower. Yes, it floats in there.
You mean
geosynchronous orbit, 22,000 miles.
They don't lend it out to like other folks.
Not usually.
DC characters, they can't come like throw a party.
Well, they let the Justice Society show up when they want to.
Yeah.
But those guys are a little more old school. They're not real wild about getting their molecules rearranged.
So Sword was part of SHIELD, but then they sort of, at this point, I think they
leaved off to their own thing. Yeah.
A little bit, sort of like the Air Force and the Army. Mm-hmm. By the way, SHIELD stands for?
Currently, Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
Yep.
Yep.
Although Todd and I are old enough to remember when it was the Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division. Supreme Headquarters Division? Okay, fine.
Back when they were a contemporary of the United Nations Criminal Law Enforcement Group.
I'm crying, Uncle. Hey, and
exactly.
Star Labs, Science and Technology Advanced Research Laboratories, and SWAT, which is an actual thing, is Special Weapons and Tactics.
Yes.
All I'm saying.
It had a really cool theme song in the 70s.
Which we will not sing. You're welcome.
Yeah. Just look it up on YouTube and listen to it sometime. It's a cool theme song.
Savage Land. Savage Land is the base of... Where? Where is it?
It's the base of the Palmer Peninsula.
Yes.
Not to be associated with Ray Palmer.
And by the way, extra points of view, like I could identify some of all of my other ones were fictitious peninsulas because that's a thing. But the Savage Land, which is it's right by Antarctica. I think it might be part of Antarctica. Towards the bottom. It's as you can kind of tell by the picture, it's let's call it an alien game preserve. I mean, the easiest way I have to describe it is Jurassic Park, kind of, but not like what,
Or for those of you that are Edgar Burroughs fans, it's kind of like Bellicudar, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Except
there's some dinosaurs kicking around, but they're not. Yeah,
And it's a great little place if you want to hang with dinosaurs or maybe have a fight with somebody.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, hey, according to Secret Invasion, Mr. Fantastic turned down what?
Well, it should be the Nobel Prize because the Pulitzer's for publishing, not science.
Yep. And the other two, the Turing's for computer stuff. He could have won that. And the Shaw, I believe, is literature. Don't quote me on that one. But Todd, for no additional points, according to Secret Invasion, what did Reed Richards specifically turn down the Nobel Prize for?
For discovering the negative zone.
Yep. And here's the thing. The Nobel Prize, there's actually 5 Nobel Prizes. And these are for, these are for science, these are for peace, these are for, economics, all sorts of things. They are, but one thing that if you win the Nobel Prize, whatever you have done should have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind.
Exactly.
And it's supposed to have happened within the last calendar year, et cetera. And I just, negative zone, it's helpful and all, but I just don't see how it was a great benefit to humankind. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. Although I suppose knowing it was there.
Well, supposedly the plan is to utilize the negative zone at some point to help us with being able to transport stuff quickly across time and space.
Does Amazon know about the negative zone?
They might, seeing how they managed to get, boxes to our doorstep before we ordered some of this stuff sometimes. But
there you go.
If they do, they're not sharing it with FedEx and UPS yet. So,
as Todd was kind of alluding to, the negative zone is like an antimatter continuum wormhole. Is it a wormhole? But it exists alongside.
Yes.
The space
it's a
and
whole
time.
Other time and space dimension thing, and has its own peoples and creatures, and
And again, Alfred Nobel, who created the Nobel Prize, created it as his legacy. It was everything in his will is what set up the Nobel Prize. And he made his fortune by inventing
Dynamite.
Yeah. So,
Not the publishing company or the cool JJ expression, but the stuff that actually blows up.
Yeah. So he didn't like that. I mean, he had a thought. There were regrets, but
yes.
All right, so tonight we're talking about Secret Invasion. Not so much the TV show, a little bit the TV show, but basically the graphic novel. It's a great graphic novel. It's available wherever
Fine
quality
comics are
graphic
sold.
novels, exactly, and
bookstores and Amazons and all that good stuff.
And if you haven't read it, you should.
You should. It's an interesting story.
Exactly.
And you never know. The person you thought was dead all these years and why you stopped reading comics might have actually gotten better by the end of the Secret Invasion. Because the person you thought died might have been a Skrull.
Okay, so it looks like our winner tonight was Michael Neosi.
Yay, Michael. Good job, Michael.
Good job. So, by a mile. So, good job, you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back. We didn't really talk about, but because Brian Michael Bendis wrote Secret Invasion, we've talked about a lot of his stuff. And he's coming to Baltimore this year. So, what do you think? We ask him to participate in one of our live shows. What do you think? Good, bad? And if good, which one should we ask? Send us an email. As always, send us an email. Give us a like. Give us a follow. We're on every social media that
we tweet, we Instagram, we YouTube, we Facebook.
Yeah, we're on the gram, we're on the tweet, we're on the Facebook, we're on the Twitter. You know, my dad watches things. Tell us what we're doing well. Tell us what we're doing poorly. Tell us what you'd like to see. And
tell
above all,
give
us an email at d.com.nation@gmail.com. And above all,
read more comics.
All right.
So you can geek out like us.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.